Welcome back, guys and ladies, to another Trespasser custom level playthrough. Today we're continuing on Jurassic Park Dark Secrets streams, a mod by, well, the Dark Secrets team. And we're just about to start exploring this giant-ass fucking swamp here. Danger Marshland. Yeah, this sign is a bit of an understatement. This fucking place is an absolute nightmare. So, the game was, Oh, okay, off to a good start. I wanted that mushroom there. So what you can kind of do, something really cool about this because of the survival aspects of this mod, is that you can actually kind of forage by, well, sticking your hand into these two-dimensional mushrooms, and then the game kind of rolls a dice and sees if you manage to acquire some food. I think that raptor is actually eating my mushroom that I just grabbed. He is getting lit. Let's chomp down on that. I don't know if that's good to eat or not, but, that tastes really strange, she says. Am I about to get, like, really high or something? Am I gonna start dying? I got a bad feeling I shouldn't have eaten that. I am going to make a save right now, just in case. We're gonna call it, the shrooms. Bruh. Okay, I can't type anymore, but get in the shrooms. We're gonna save just in case that kills me. I'm trying to trip some serious balls here, but the game is suggesting that I might die. Anyway, let's head into the swamp. This place is a nightmare. As you can see, I cannot tell where I'm going. And we're going to die now because I just contracted the DX infection, which you get from being bitten by the raptors in the swamp, which are kind of like horrible, deformed, zombified raptors. You can see their skin's like melting off. They have custom skins. Yeah. This place, let's just reload. This place is not fun. And it crashed. Okay. Okay, so it just crashed really quickly, but that's okay. Let's try that again. So, if I remember correctly, there is an item in the swamp that we need. This swamp is actually very important. I think there's two places where we can find the item we need, and this swamp is one of the two. So I was trying to say that the raptors in the swamp look kind of like zombified, like their skin is melting off and they're all like beaten up and they've got lesions and just overall kind of nasty. I really like I like kind of the horrific implications of InGen's dinosaurs. It's genetically engineered theme park monsters, as Dr. Grant calls them in Jurassic Park 3. Sort of like melting down and slowly dying. It's kind of horrific, but it's almost kind of in the spirit of Jurassic Park to have the dinosaurs sort of suffering in that sense, because you know what really are they doing here? Do they belong in this world? That's one of the questions that the original movie kind of posits that the later movies kind of just said fuck it and gave up on. And looks like we're going to die again because I've gotten the DX infection, but I'm going to use this current life to try to scout out and see if I can find anything interesting inside of the swamp. I might just die to this raptor who's slowly eating me. Let's see, maybe we can hunt down... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I'm boned. I'm trapped underneath this rib cage. Oh no. Oh god. Oh, this is a nightmare. Oh my god, that guy just like slipped on a banana peel, and oh my god, I'm being killed by physics. Alright, well that went, that was eventful. Let's try reloading. Maybe it'll crash, maybe it won't. Okay, it worked this time. Let's carry on. So, let's see. Maybe, let's try going up on high. Maybe we can locate what I'm looking for. It's hard to, it's really hard to see what we're looking for in the swamp here because the grass is so dense once I get inside. It's not even a particularly huge area. It's just really hard to sort of examine. I really like how the swamp looks, though. This whole area is really cool. This sort of custom, gross, like, swampy goo that I'm wading in. The raptors running in out of nowhere and instantaneously, you know, ensuring that I won't survive the next 10 minutes of gameplay. All really cool stuff. Alright, let's try climbing up here. Apparently I just gathered a mushroom somehow. Another cool thing that a lot of players don't know about this mod is that you can, in fact, climb these vines. It's a little tricky. It doesn't work perfectly. You kind of have to, like, jump repeatedly against it. But let's climb up here. Alright. I think we're trying to get to... I believe there's a jeep somewhere in the swamp which has the item we need, but I can't remember for the life of me which one it is. I don't think it's that one. So it's probably that one right there next to the two long plants, or that one that's kind of buried. Let's maybe chow down on some mushrooms. And we'll go take a peek. Okay, let's make a run for it. Maybe that raptor's distracted eating the mushroom that I discovered. Shit. Pretty sure the car was somewhere in this direction. Somewhere. I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's kind of like a creepy, like, echoing bird sound right now, too. Really like that. I love some really atmospheric sound design. That's something that a lot of not just mod makers, but developers in general are just not very good at. They use this like generic soundscape, and instead of making sounds that will sound, you know, deliberately intimidating, they'll just say, oh, let's pick some bird sounds. But they won't just go like, let's pick a bird that actually sounds scary. Okay, we found it. Is this what we need? Oh, you guys hear that? It's like a creepy whispering sound. Anyway, that's so creepy. I've never noticed that before. Okay, we found what we need. We have found the code to the Plains Gate. However, I'm going to die because I got the DX prion disease, so I'm going to go back and reload one more time. And we are going to attempt to get that without contracting the DX prion disease. This level, you know, speaking of that creepy sound effect that was playing, this level has a lot of like really creepy undertones to it. There's a lot of general spookiness going on, which I really, really approve of, because I do like horror games, especially like atmospheric horror games. I don't like those fucking like Five Nights at Freddy's type shitty games, you know, like I like a game where you're walking around and things are a little unnerving, but it's not like obvious. And I don't like when horror games try to be in your face and they try to tell these big fucking stupid elaborate ass stories. It's always like, you know, some guy was a fucking murderer or something, and, you know, his ghost is haunting, you know, forever. That's just dumb. Like, oh my God, how many times have we seen that? Do something original with your horror games, people. Come on. So, yeah, you notice I'm kind of bunny hopping here because this place is a fucking nightmare. If it weren't for the DX prion disease aspect of this, I wouldn't be doing that. But honestly, trying to get through here without being bitten and getting the disease is really hard. Okay, so we have our passcode. Fortunately, we don't actually need to remember that because it kind of gets stored in Tasha's quote-unquote memory. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Let's try to use the more open area so we can see where we're going. Yeah, I do like that I don't have to remember that passcode there because I never would have remembered it. 9001, I think it was. I do like the, like I was saying though, I do like the horrific, kind of spooky, creepy, unnerving, dark, well, I mean, it is called Dark Secrets. I like those aspects of this mod a lot. And there was a lot more that kind of went unused in this mod along those lines, especially like the backstory that doesn't really get into because of the fact that the mod is unfinished. Dark Secrets really wanted to tell a really elaborate story set in the Jurassic Park universe, which it couldn't really do because not because Trespasser is incapable of handling it, but because of the amount of like time and effort and manpower that would have been required of such a feat. But nonetheless, there are elements of it that kind of remain inside of this mod. Anyway, up ahead we can see this really vast area, which you can see the terrain texture is kind of glitching in the distance. Again, that's because I raised the view distance really significantly. But here we're coming to... Okay, maybe I raised the view distance a little bit too much because you can see there's just nothing over there, but oh well. Again, if you download this mod and play it yourself, it won't look exactly like this for you. The view distance is extraordinarily short in the regular mod, which is very hampering and difficult on the gameplay, which I know Draconosaurus has said that was his intent. But from an artistic point of view, trying to showcase this to you guys, I feel like it does hinder my ability to really show it in the way that I'd like to. But yeah, there's a lot of like dark undertones to the story, especially once we start finding out what was going on this island after Hurricane Clarissa. yeah, we'll get more into that. There's a lot of really interesting kind of stuff going on here, which the Jurassic World franchise basically decided to take a different route with it and went a really, really boring path. Because this one takes a kind of a seedy undertones angle to the backstory. And you see up there's a piece of dialogue talking about, I wonder if Daniel made some of these things. Guess you didn't think he'd be eating a sis one day. So we're going to learn out what Daniel was up to, I think. Or maybe we won't. I'm going to tell you guys eventually anyway. What Tasha thinks Daniel was up to on this island. Because it turns out that things went a little bit wrong, as they usually do for the researchers who decided to stay behind after Hurricane Clarissa. So here we have the entrance to this area, I believe. See through there, you can kind of see inside. And I am bunny hopping, guys. It's not because I'm trying to cheat or anything. It's just because it's taking me quite some time to walk around that relatively empty area there between the more interesting places. But here we are. We're kind of coming up on the gate to the plains, which we just got the passcode for. Ow. What? Contracted DX infection? What the hell do you mean? Is it from eating that mushroom? Maybe. Well, that's bullshit. Anyway, here we have Plains Ecosystem Research and Observation. Stegosaurus stenops, Parasaurolophus walkeri, Triceratops horridus, Gallimimus bellatus. This is sort of a map as well of the area. We can actually get inside of this because we have the
party carried the passcodes for our perimeter fences.
And we know that because we just found a passcode to it. So we can actually type that in and get in here. But I don't really want to go in there yet. This is where we're going to end up going in this playthrough. But for now, we're actually going to keep exploring. So how do we want to do this? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save here. I'm going to call this Plains Ahoy. Because why not? We're going to go back really quickly to before we decided to eat mushrooms and die. That was not right. That was my quick save. We want to go to getting the shrooms. So we're going to go right back here to before... And sorry, guys, the game just crashed, by the way. That's why I kind of did a jump cut there. Right before I decided to go into the swamp and eat the shrooms, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to do a little bit of flying around because there's some areas I did miss and I want to make sure I cover them. So let's fly back. You guys remember all of this. We flew along the coast here. You can see this overview of this kind of rocky valley area. See some good lack of frame rate there for a second. So if we go past the hotel, we didn't go this way. This is kind of northward past the hotel. You can see we come to the swamp here. And we're going to go into walking mode. And you can immediately see, because I landed in the swamp, that I'm being kind of, I don't know how to describe it, like sucked down into the mud. So let's try to make our way through this muddy, swampy area. So again, like I said, Dark Secrets is such a vast level. Oh god. Oh, it's killing me too. Oh. Alright, we're going to have to space to try to get through this quickly. I don't have time to read what that says. Danger. I think that says danger swamp. Oh, and it crashed. Okay. Okay, so it crashed again. And I'm having some frame rate troubles around here, probably due to the big swamp. The game doesn't really like large bodies of water like that. So I'm just going to fly through here and give you guys a quick tour. You can explore this yourselves if you like. But we have this kind of big marshy area here. Really cool. If we keep going along here, this is the ridge that was to the right of the swamp when we passed through it. We got this kind of little, I don't know what to call this, like circle here. This really big epic tree as well. Pretty sure there's an Easter egg if you climb up in this tree. This is what's known as the Wise Old Tree, actually. It's a model that appears quite often in Trespasser. Got an Ankylosaurus over here. Let's keep exploring. This is an alternate path, by the way. I'm I don't feel like I'm being exploitative doing this. I'm just showing what I missed when I went the way that I did. If we actually do this, we end up back here. You guys, of course, remember this. Yeah, so you see there are a bunch of alternate routes that you can kind of take through the level. We can fly up and get a big overview of the area we've just explored. There's the swamp. There goes my frame rate again. You can even see that I just went down there. There's actually another path over here. And here we have an Tyrannosaurus from Operation Genesis, I believe, doing the old the metal scream. So anyway, let's fly back. I'm just showing this because I don't want to miss these areas. They're not crucial to the gameplay of the level, and it would just take me a long time to walk through these, and I do want to be a little bit more concise with this playthrough if I can be, while also showing off everything that there is to show. If we had come up here, there is this little cliffy area that you can explore up here, which leads over to the swamp. So this is this corner of the level. Hopefully that gives you guys a nice overview of this part of the level. Again, we have missed that island, and I intend on getting to that island because it's really cool. I just don't remember how to get to it. I'm sure we'll figure it out. You can even see you can see all the way across the level here. You can see the terrain textures glitching out in the distance. That's a problem with render distance. You can see the waterfall where we started the game from. And there's the plains. So let's go back to the plains area, I think is what we're going to do. We're going to head right over here. We're going to pretend that we didn't get the plains passcode, but we ended up here anyway, and so we have to explore in a different direction. So let's just stop cheating. Go. All right, and here we are.
Okay, which way do we go here?
So there's the gate to the plains. Let's go check out this little gas station. The official credit card of not becoming a midday snack. Yeah, you can see Universal Orlando is branded on there because that's another one of those things that was copied. I know in a previous level I mentioned the really cool vending machine. First aid kit. Maybe we'll take that. Can we take that? I don't know if we can carry it. We can. Okay, we'll take that.
Excuse me, maintenance. Hello, a little help here?
A lot of cool unused dialogue there as well. Oh, we got some cans, probably more worms. Yep. Alright, so let's try heading. Shall we go? Well, there looks like there's a building over there, so let's head that way. Again, JPDS streams. This level is, in particular, this level.
Round for kilometers, one every 100 meters or so. I built them to last. Running east from the plant, they climbed the valley before descending south into the plains.
This level is so vast that there's a lot of ground to cover, so we're kind of, at the moment, we're almost backtracking. When I was kind of flying around there and showing everything, I would say we were exploring sort of the western half of the level, the western third of the level. So now let's go. We'll go take a look at the central third of the level. And then what I might do is finish the level here at Plains, and then we'll, I don't know. Oh boy. That guy just dropped out of a tree. That's kind of a JP3 raptor, I think, like a greenish colored JP3 raptor. Oh, I think we saw them. Didn't we see this guy in a previous level in Trespasser Legacy or something like that? Ah, fuck, we got the JP, the stupid DX infection. Ugh. I know there's a way to get rid of that. There is a medical item you can find somewhere which you can use, and it actually cures you of the DX infection. Sadly, I may have fucked myself slightly, so we're going to have to run. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to go to the plains. We're going to finish the level, which will cure it will cure the DX infection, funnily enough, transitioning into the next level. Because of the fact that... what am I trying to say? It will cure it because of the fact that you can't carry over variables between levels. So I won't be dying anymore if I do that. It's kind of cheap, but whatever. The DX infection thing is cheap. Oh, you can't get up here? Okay, I guess you can't get inside of here. All right. Well, let's come about then. We'll head around the front. Oh, I think I hear that raptor. I still have the key, too. The key to whatever it is. Huh, all right. You can see, if you guys look at my health, too, you can see I am slowly dying. Which is, I don't know. I don't want to call it bullshit because there is a way to get rid of it. But maybe the solution to getting rid of it is too uncommon. Like, I know there's an antidote, but it's just really, really hard to find. Anyway, here we have an airfield. I don't know if this is meant to be the same airfield as in Jurassic Park 3. Or an airstrip, I guess. I don't really know. Yeah, we can't get inside that building, unfortunately. But this is really cool. This is presumably meant to be either the JP3 airstrip or something like it. It's missing some buildings, I believe, because the JP3 one has little buildings off to the side. But we got some stuff going on over here, so we can check that out before we die. Either I'm going to die of DX infection before we get back to the plains gate, or I'm just going to die, reload my save, and go straight into the plains. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the start of the level, and we're going to take a different route through the level.
1981. I stumbled out of the helicopter, already beginning to sweat, and looked around at the lush forest, the wet leaves.
So here we have the airstrip, kind of a little service thing. Welcome to the Site B Airlift Runway Station, okay. Well, I guess now we finally can confirm that we're on Site B. Isla Sorna.
And seismic instruments in yellow crates. They set them in the dust as the helicopter...
Aha, what do we have here? Biosyn, huh? Biological synthetics. So this is a reskinned version of the crashed helicopter from the retail game. And we also have some crates here. Okay, the helicopter just exploded. We have some crates here, some Biosyn crates. This logo here, by the way, is awesome. This was made by Draconosaurus and Co. for this mod specifically. And funnily enough, a similar logo was used by, I believe, in the Jurassic World series for their Biosyn logo. But I love this. This, to me, is the definitive Biosyn logo. It's the idea of the DNA kind of taking over the world, I think, is what Draconosaurus said he was going for with this. Really cool stuff. Anyway, let's chuck that away. We don't care about Biosyn. Or maybe we do, because that... I just used the first aid kit there as well. Notice incoming airlift subject to... Okay. So yeah, there's a crashed Biosyn helicopter here with some Biosyn crates. So Biosyn's been to Isla Sorna, apparently. Why might that be, I wonder? Well, I think we'll see a little bit more Biosyn as we carry on. And it looks like that first aid kit actually may have cured the DX disease. So, okay, so maybe I was being a little harsher than I should have been. Anyway, what we're going to do at this point is... what do we want to do? You know what? We're back near the start of the level anyway. I don't think I'm going to restart. I think I'm just going to continue to explore. And we'll cover the rest of the level in probably a part 3 because I'm running out of time. And from there, we'll say probably do one more part where we cover the rest of JPDS streams, and then I will go away, and perhaps next weekend I will cover JPDS Plains, or the other level that comes after JPDS Trails.
The point is, you are alive. They start to meet you.
This is wonderful as well. I love this. We got 2 male velociraptors competing for the female. We'll let them duke it out. That is great. That is so creative and so original scripting from the JPDS team. Really smart stuff. Again, really just creative, original, fun. You know. Well, she says, you know, as I say, I know. I probably shouldn't have lied about being in the Army Reserve. Yeah, so Tasha was able to come to Isla Sorna because what happened was, I believe she had to lie and say she was in the Army Reserve in order to sort of charter a helicopter or something. That's why she's wearing this camo tank top, I presume. In order to convince a pilot to fly her to Isla Sorna. I don't really know if that's how it works. Although, according to JP3, anyone can kind of just call the military and be like, hey, listen, I need you guys to, like, help me. Because in JP3, of course, Ellie somehow calls the military and is able to, like, literally make them go to the island, which makes very little sense. Oh, we got another first aid kit. I'm going to hold on to that. Cool that you can collect first aid kits like that and hold on to them. It kind of adds an aspect of inventory management as well. Anyways, we're going to follow the power lines, and I think just over this rise here, we should be able to see the... Whoa! Okay, so raptors are falling out of trees now. Okay, that's a new one. Maybe they're being delivered from the heavens. So what we're going to do, I think, is we're going to head back to the shed there. And then in part 3 of JPDS streams, we are going to explore the remainder of the level that I have not covered yet. We'll maybe do one last little flyover to make sure I've covered everything. And from there, we will probably finish up this level and proceed into the next level next week. But until then, guys, I shall see you later. This has been The Idiot, and thanks for watching.